Hey guys, I'm going to get into perhaps one of my all-time favorite singles bands, Creedence Clearwater. I just grew up on these guys, and I really have a special love for them. I have so many fond memories of summer days and nights of just laying in the hammock, just listening to this band after running intensely for about like 5 to 10 miles, and it feels really great to just still do that to this day. Like I've been doing that. I've been going back on this kick and just exercising a ton as I get out. Just keep, yeah, I can't be. I just want to keep moving. Always be in motion. Creedence Clearwater Revival is a band that kind of comes to me when I'm in that mode, I find, because their singles are just really perfect. Cosmo's Factory is their best album. They had a few misfires in albums overall, but if you just compile all their singles together, I'm like, dude, they're just a cool band. Like, they're really one of the coolest bands of the 60s because they're just kind of continuing the foundation of a lot of the 50s stuff without not really being too influenced by a lot of the psychedelia happening. It makes them refreshingly simple, beautiful in their simplicity, very timeless. Like, a lot of these singles just hold up really well because they're just, it's just really beautiful. I mean, it's just its own kind of thing entirely. A lot of folk influence that kind of blends with just good rock, just rock feeling in the best kind of way possible. And I mean, yeah, one of the best bands ever with some of these songs, honestly. Some of the songs really do solidify them. It's just some of the all-time best. And the way they jam, it's just they can really kick out the jams whenever it's time to come. So we'll get into their first album, self-titled Creedence Clearwater Revival in 1968. I don't care too much for this album. Susie Q's got a great bass. I really enjoy I Put a Spell on You. But overall, it's not really my favorite flavor of Creedence, though. I think this is the adventure of, it almost does feel like it's a little influenced by psychedelia, but then they just turn into something different entirely, which is, I think, the best way to interpret a lot of that stuff in the first place. It's like listen to interpret it, but then kind of find your own realm from it. Don't become it, basically, because it's already kind of laid out. So it's like, I think Creedence Clearwater has kind of got the idea of maybe at this point how I want to perceive a lot of the 60s stuff. It's almost like, right, a lot like how director Richard Linklater looks at Martin Scorsese. It's like that's his ultimate filmmaking hero, but this one's filmed nothing like it. Like Creedence Clearwater Revival's taking the influence of everything around him, and it's nothing like that. It's just its own thing entirely. Like, it's so far from Jimi Hendrix. It's just its own thing, not too showy. Just very, very cool. Just laid back. The album Bayou County in 1968. And I don't care too much for that one. It just doesn't click in the same kind of way. But when we get to the 1969 era, that's when they're in 1970. That's when they had their golden era. And Green River is where it really all starts. Because, I mean, it feels like there's just a lot of great stuff they got going on here. Like songs like Born on the Bayou are kind of just. That was like the only song I really like off the previous album. It kind of continues that sound into something that's just kind of like the full album kind of sounds like Born on the Bayou in a certain kind of way. Like commotion just kind of feels like just almost just like aggressiveness in traffic. I don't know, something about it just almost makes you lighten up about stress in a certain kind of way. I really enjoy that about the band. Bad Moon Rising, that's a great one. It just feels like it's celebrating an apocalypse in a certain kind of way. While Lodi is just a beautiful ballad that just expresses just simplicity within the chord progressions. And, the way they just move around, it's so beautiful. I wrote a song for everybody. I mean, it's just, that one's okay, but I really prefer, like something like Tombstone Shadow. It's just some smooth sailing stuff going on in this album. I mean, it feels like a band. I'll tell you, I know they're good, but I'm not a big fan of Queen these days. I think I've gotten sick of the Queen. I think this is the band I prefer when I'm looking for that Queen kind of energy. Something about that feels too extroverted for me in a certain kind of way now. Even though I recognize that it's good, it's just we're a little distant from how I think I am nowadays. I recognize Freddie Mercury's a perfect singer and a genius singer, but yeah, I really prefer this right here. But yeah, it's just, they kind of just have some good ballad stuff too. Like Nighttime is the Right Time. It's just really good stuff, honestly. The album I love the most in 1969 they did is Willy and the Poor Boys. So I mean, yeah, that one just contains all kinds of just mythical energy to it. So songs like Down on the Corner just make me want to tap my toe. Like stuff like Fortunate Son is just, oh man, it's one of the best rock songs ever made about, it's essentially like almost like just subtle protest song about being honest. I think Creedence Clearwater can be pretty subtle about how they express themselves. Songs like it foreshadows stuff like Have You Ever Seen the Rain, which is just like one of the best songs ever made, I think. It Came Out of the Sky is amazing. Just the instrumentation. I love John Fogerty's songwriting. It's very unique. It's just very light. It's very free spirited. This is like the good side of just being free spirited, you can say in a lot of ways. F&G is just awesome. Um, some of the stuff almost reminds me of a bit of a foreshadow of like REM. REM's another band. Like, I get this kind of almost just innocent, laid back kind of spirit living in it, but it just makes me want to live. Ultimately. I mean, so it's down like corner. It's awesome. It's really bouncy and fun and simple, just catchy. And the best album they made is certainly Cosmo's Factory in 1970. This one just rocks. There's just about every song, maybe 2 or 3 that are filler, but most of it's just really great. I really love listening to just like, yeah, it's just so different from like all so many other things going on. I just listened to this album, it just makes it feel like the most classic of classic sounds. It's just like, yeah, when you want a feeling of classic rock, this almost is an essential album, Cosmo's Factory. It's like an unspoken, just like it's almost like how director Sidney Lumet is, where it's almost just so friendly and inviting that you almost forget about it until you just really come to a time where you just really crave something like that. I don't know, Creedence just makes you jam, feel good in a certain kind of way. So, it just kind of continues a lot of the swamp sound that Susie Q had out into something even cooler. Like Ramble Tamble's awesome. Just all this is just amazing in the way. All the guitar solos just like it just completely hangs out. I mean, I heard through grapevines of 11-minute jam, and it just really is just incredible as it sounds. I mean, all that it doesn't get old. I don't get sick of listening to it ever. It's just a groove I can get lost in endlessly forever. It feels like it's a foundation. Songs like Strawberry Fields Forever later out to its own thing in time. It's just a great jam. Up Around the Bend's amazing. That's one of the best songs they made, and that riff is just so good. I love how good that riff is. It's optimistic. They're an optimistic band. Who'll Stop the Rain? Oh man, simplicity, and it's just really simple. Who'll Stop the Rain's a masterpiece. Just capturing just like madness and just wanting to find some calm in the madness. Laying Out My Back Door is about the most innocent song I've ever heard. That song just takes me to a certain place. It's probably my favorite song they ever made. So it just really is a special one. I always felt that like that one kind of represented the ultimate kind of innocence in a certain kind of way. Travel of the Band's got a lot of great soul to it. It feels like a lot of rock and roll influences going into it. I'm just like Ramble Tamble. I can't get enough of that jam. Stuff like just 3 short filler tracks. Before You Accuse Me, Would You Be My Lady Love Me? None of those are amazing, but I mean, this is just an amazing album, and it feels like you got just overall, just take those singles and put them all together from the previous albums. And just you're gonna have a great time with Creedence Clearwater. We're a pretty unique kind of band, pretty special. You got 1971 Pendulum. I don't care for this album, but it's got one of the best songs ever made. Have You Ever Seen the Rain? Yeah, that's what it comes down to. Hey, they're a special band. I recommend this band to everybody. I think they're about, to me, one of those universal bands of all time and what they're doing. So Creedence Clearwater Bible comes recommended to everybody. This is awesome simplicity of just enjoying rock and roll.